Hey, what's good, everybody? It's another video in quick succession to the last one, simply because I've mentioned before in my videos, but the holidays and stuff are busy for everybody, and I wanted to kind of catch up on what's actually been going on in the campaign. I know last video was a longer video, and we just got to hang out with some of the players and discuss the campaign so far and how their characters are feeling. It was more focused on them, but it's been a while since I've did an update video on what is actually going on in our campaign. I've talked about how the players have made it to Valachi, and they really have found themselves in the middle of this gross political struggle between the Burgomaster and Lady Fiona Voctor. They found out quite a bit more about that, but it didn't really offer much clarity. I've done the festival thing quite different from the module and also what has been suggested in third-party materials. When they arrived, it was right before the Festival of the Blazing Sun, and I allowed that festival to happen, and I actually made that a bit happier, actually a lot happier than the module suggests you make it. Instead of being quite morose about it, I had the town embrace it a little bit. This was kind of treated as a bigger, probably more of an annual festival rather than just one of the weekly hangouts, basically, that the Burgomaster calls festivals. There were events, there was a log toss and archery and stuff like that that the players got to participate in. But during the middle of this, the Burgomaster found out that his wife was actually missing and went on a low-key fit of rage and demanded that the party bring her back, and was very skeptical of the party now, especially with just how they entered the town and everything on top of that, and they're newcomers, which doesn't happen in Barovia, the Valley of Barovia, very often at all. So he's very skeptical of them, and he's definitely skeptical of Lady Fiona because she is almost outright opposed to the Burgomaster. All of her intentions and disposition towards him, there is quite a bit that still remains in the shadows that the party has found out, and they learned from her that though she doesn't currently have the Burgomaster's wife, she is planning on dispatching the Burgomaster come next week's festival. Also, in the middle of the Festival of the Blazing Sun, a tiger was unleashed, and it was revealed that Rictavio owned this tiger and wanted to escape the town with the tiger and kind of get away because a price had been put on his head immediately from the Burgomaster for disrupting the peace and causing chaos during the festival on top of his missing wife. So he skipped town, and where the party is now, they retrieved the bones of St. Andrew for the church. That was another thing that had happened. I may have talked about that in previous episodes, but they actually retrieved the bones of St. Andrew from the coffin maker's shop, and one of our players, Anad, swiftly dispatched of the coffin maker by Eldritch blasting him into many pieces. So now they are on their way out of town to actually investigate the winery. So they have about a week before Lady Fiona said that they are planning on taking down the Burgomaster. So now they're headed out to the Wizard Wines to fulfill their first quest that they received in Valachi from Erwin Martikov from the Blue Water Inn, who asked if they would investigate why wine is being poisoned and why the supply chain is being disrupted and stuff like that. So they're heading out there right now, which they have not arrived at yet, but they encountered Strahd, who again he's a little more adamant about Irina coming with him, and is starting to get upset that she's been refusing. So he was a little more violent this time around with the company, with the party. Right now we have an extra player, or an additional player now, which is Droglar's wife. Well, not Droglar the character, but the player character's wife has joined in and is going to be playing with us, and she's been in the process of creating her very first D&D character ever, or at least 5e character, and she will be playing a Dragonborn sorceress. We are almost ready, if not ready, for the session tonight for that character to join the party. For the recent past, she's been playing the role of Irina. So in her last big decision as role-playing Irina, I let her decide, are you going to stay with the party or are you going to actually go with Strahd? And I told her, because she's not going to continue playing Irina, I said, as the DM, I'm going to throw this decision at you. Irina's feeling conflicted. Irina's feeling conflicted now because Strahd keeps pestering her and the party, and she feels like she's been endangering the party, and she says, you know what? Maybe it's better if, for now, I just go with Strahd. You know, that way he will be appeased. You guys can go about your business. I know what you guys are about, and maybe I'll have a chance in the end to be rescued. But maybe for now it's better for me to just go with him so I can leave you guys unhindered. I said that you can make that decision if you want to stay with the party or if you want to go with Strahd. And right now, she feels like the party, because of all the events in Valachi, and then also not sure what's going to happen at the winery, she said, I'll at least stay with you for the next week until Valachi, the situation gets resolved one way or another. So for the immediate future, Irina's still with us. How that's going to pan out, though, remains to be seen. So hopefully that catches you guys up to where we are. Again, for me, I don't know, man. Things that I've learned, I think one of the biggest things was, and I mentioned this the last session, Valachi is huge. There is so much happening in that town. I don't want to use the word burnout because I'm not burnt out on the campaign at all. I've been really enjoying running Curse of Strahd. But they have spent the last several sessions in Valachi, and on their way out, instead of role-playing entirely, you know, they got to sneak out of town, they have to somehow make their way out the gate. Once they resolved the immediate threat, I just said, alright, you guys want to make it out of town, you can make it out of town safely. Like, and I told them straight up, I was like, I don't like when DMs have, because I've played a little bit now of other campaigns with Adventure League and stuff, and I'm like, I don't really like when DMs just kind of like treat D&D as a board game. Look, here's the monster you're going to face. Oh man, look, the monster was supposed to do this, you know, but I scaled that down for you. I've mentioned things like that here and there, but I've really tried to keep role-playing and immersion to a maximum, at least as much as I can. This time, because they had spent so much time in Valachi, and again, the holidays, I finished school, all this stuff going on in life, I was like, you know what? I haven't really planned this out yet. You guys, you know what? Just for sake of time and for our sanity, I'm ready for you guys to get out of Valachi, so I'm going to let you guys escape Valachi safely. And they understood. They were really awesome about it. I don't think they felt cheated on some random encounter with guards. It still went over okay with them, I think. But that was one thing that I think I've learned. I guess I don't want to let my personal, I don't want to say feelings, but my personal feelings kind of get in the way of the game itself. Because again, one of my priorities is to keep that immersion, to keep the realism as high as I can. But anyways, that's really all I've got for you. I'll do another video after this next session. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you all had a great Christmas or holiday, whatever holidays you guys celebrate. And I'll see you guys again very soon. Peace.